And he and I held hands walking in great fear, not knowing if we would hear a gun or if we'd feel the pain first or what would happen if they were going to shoot us. I was driving with a young Kenyan pastor after an evening of Jesus Film outreach in the city of Nairobi. We had the Jesus Film equipment in the back of my truck. And as we stopped at one point on a rough gravel road, I heard a strange sound. At both of the side windows, it was the tapping of metal on glass. I looked and saw two men with guns pointed at us. They told us to open the door. We opened both doors of the truck. They squeezed in with their guns pointed, instructing us to drive on. We were filled with fear. We didn't know what would happen. In Nairobi, about 50% of the carjackings end up with someone losing their life. So my friend, this young pastor, began praying out loud. He was just beseeching the Lord. He was just praying, Jesus, 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 for protection and for safety. And the two robbers did not silence him. He was able to continue praying. And I picked up a cue from that and began singing. So I sang some Swahili worship choruses. And then I decided, let me try to share the gospel with these guys. So I'm squeezed in, four of us now in the cab of a very tiny pickup truck. And we're trying to drive. They wanted us to drive at high speed to take us to some remote place. We didn't know where they were taking us, but I started telling them that Jesus can give them a new life. And they said, no, there's no new life for us. We just need money. And we came to a stopping point, kind of in the middle of nowhere. They told us to get out of the vehicle. Now, the back of my truck has a cab on it. We would call it a matatu body in Kenya. And they instructed my Kenyan pastor friend to get in the back of the truck. And he started saying, no, no, no. And I knew what was going to happen. They were going to take him to a remote place and do away with him. He knew that he was going to lose his life that night, and I didn't know what would happen to me. But then I just basically said, please don't hurt my friend. He's newly married. They've got a young baby. Please don't hurt him. I didn't use the word kill, of course. And then one of the robbers said to the other, these are good people. We don't have to kill them. And they told the two of us to start walking. Now, in Kenya, when you have a close friend of the same gender, it's common to hold hands as you walk. And so I did that. My friend, this young pastor, Mutiso, and he and I held hands walking in great fear, not knowing if we would hear a gun or if we'd feel the pain first or what would happen if they were going to shoot us. So we walked away from the vehicle as instructed, holding hands, praying silently. And then we heard the vehicle start up and they drove away in the other direction. At that point, Matiso and I raised our hands in spiritual thanksgiving to God that He had preserved our lives. It's natural for all of us to have fear at times. It's natural for all of us to be concerned with God's protection when unexpected negative events happen. But really, the Holy Spirit can give you peace even in such situations. And God will always give you the words to say if there's something that needs to be said. A few days later, the police recovered our vehicle, minus all four wheels, minus the battery. The Jesus Film equipment was also missing. The people in that rural area reported that late that night they heard some sound going on like a movie. So apparently those guys had started up the projector and they had the use of the Jesus Film now for whatever they wanted to do with it. So when unexpected negative events happen, let me assure you, God is able to protect you. God is able to fulfill His plan for your life. Trust that God is going to use you. It may not be easy, but God is going to be glorified in the process. Trust God with whatever comes up and look to Him as your victory. Just like when I raised our hands in spiritual thanksgiving to God that He had preserved our lives.